Okay, so I'm watching CJ's Crime Concepts, and right now it's live at the protest in front of Solid Rock, and I don't know the police. There's a police presence, which is to be expected, but I just want to clarify something. Solid Rock is a 501c3. You know what that means? It means you pay no taxes. So that public sidewalk is paid for by the residents. And because it's paid for by the residents have pretty much given the okay and the support of the protesters. They don't have issue with this protest. As a matter of fact, they support it, as I said. Now, I've said this before, I guess it bears repeating, that the protesting is covered under the First Amendment. It's a constitutional right. So is the yelling. That's freedom of speech, also under the First Amendment. Now, JP, if you were to actually pick up a phone, you Google, instead of looking at porn, and actually look up the law, you would see that you are trying to violate their constitutional rights. I've actually offered to be a witness because I've witnessed, not just today, many times where you guys have tried to, I saw also the spraying in the water of the face. So I'm willing to witness for any of them or even help them to find a constitutional lawyer if you're going to keep trying to violate their constitutional rights, okay? Now, I also want you to know that I did look up you calling me out of the blue. I'm not your friend. I made it very clear that I don't like the way you handle your life and the way you are as a pastor, so there would be no invitation for you to call me out of the blue. And it was seemingly you trying to intimidate me, manipulate me. So I do actually have the right to file harassment charges against you, especially as a disabled woman. Now, so that's the law. Look it up. It's going to be in the chat because I know you're watching because you're, a little bit of a loser. So I'm just letting you know you are violating their constitutional rights. Again, I'm telling you. I know you don't listen the first time because you're gabadost. Now, I just want to move on real quick to, I'm sorry, I got distracted by the protest. Someone came into my chat, and I've seen this once or twice. It's not, you guys are all wonderful, but it's just, one or two of these hyper grace. You're a Christian woman. You really should talk nicer and be nicer. It's probably a flying monkey. And listen, that hyper grace nonsense, that new age love and light BS, it's witchcraft. I have no time for that. As a matter of fact, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus Christ. Now, I just pretty much delete and block you because you're not even worth my time. But I want you to think about this before you start commenting in my chat. When Jesus was flipping the tables in the temple, that was righteous anger. This is what I'm showing as righteous anger. Do you think he would have listened to your love and light message? Do you think you would have walked up to Jesus and said, "That's not nice, you should be kind because you're Christ"? He would have rebuked you and called you a brood of viper. He would have called you a child of a snake. He would have rebuked you right then and there. And I'm going to tell you why that would have happened. When somebody is really truly saved, they have discernment for what season they're in. And if you were actually truly saved and truly a Christian, you would know instinctively that we are in the season of judgment against the house of God, against wolves that have infiltrated God's house. Cleaning a house is not always beautiful and pretty and sunshine and light and flowers and butterflies and roses. Sometimes it takes some hard work, it takes sweat, and it takes, strength to do that. And so that's what's happening. If you don't have the wherewithal to know that within yourself, then maybe you need to worry about the massive log in your eye and not worry about the speck in mine. If the way I speak and the way I am bothers you, you know what you can do? Swipe. Move to the next TikTok video. Leave me alone. I'm not going to change for you. Okay? We're in the midst of a fight, a war. It says that we do not battle against flesh and blood, but against principalities. So I'm in the middle of fighting against wickedness here. I don't have time for tea parties and butterflies with you. So if that's your game, then go play it somewhere else. It's not Christ-like. I'm going to tell you that right now. Yes, there are times, there's a season for everything. In Ecclesiastes, if you read the Bible, you'd know that. There's a time for kindness, there's a time for gentleness, there's a time for love, and then there's a time for fighting, there's a time for war. There's a time for justice, and that's what we're seeking right now. Okay, so I don't need for you to add your hyper grace, false doctrine nonsense. I'm not going to listen to it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, which is what I did with the last girl. I'm going to delete you and block you, and you're gone. I have no time for you. I am not going to entertain false doctrine, and that's a false doctrine. That's New Age witchcraft. Don't bring it into my chat, because I will deal with you like I deal with the enemy. Pretty rough, pretty harsh. So I'm being nice now, but who knows what will happen tomorrow. So anyway, for everyone else, God bless. I'm watching. Lots of prayers going on, lots of protection. I see the Lord has moved the storm clouds out of the way because he wants you to be there and he's protecting you. The angel of the Lord is on the scene, and so are legions and legions and legions of powerful angels protecting that protest in the name of Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach. So that's the way it's going to be. All right? God bless everybody.